You look like a true producer with that headset on.
We're on live, James. Hey guys, this is Colton Lindsay with the Winning Series Interviews. Today I have James Michener out of Prescott, Arizona, one of the other agents that's joined the Fearless Agent movement going on. James, why don't you take a second and introduce yourself to everyone, and where you from, what you do, what's going on?
Hey guys, James Mitchner here in Prescott, Arizona. 27 years old. Been had my license for about going on 3 years. Been doing it full time for about a year now. So loving it.
Nice. So, what year did you get licensed?
2013,
And when did you start going full time?
March of last year.
And when did you meet? One thing you and I have in common that we were talking about yesterday is we both started pretty nearly to the start of our careers introduced to Bob Leffler and the Fearless Agent movement. And so we were kind of, I guess, cleaned, so to speak, to the ways of how other people do real estate. So we were kind of both lucky in that aspect. So when did you first learn about Fearless Agent, or did you start and meet Bob?
So I first learned about Fearless Agent in 2013. He was doing some training at the brokerage I'm with currently, and I was doing phone recruiting for Grand Canyon University at the time. And so when he told me kind of what his program was, how to get stuff started, I said, there's got to be another way to do something. I want to kind of get off the phones, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I listened to everybody else. I sent out postcards, and I meet and greet. And there's some good sphere of influence stuff, but nothing like what Bob was teaching, really. So
I think in your he's got a little testimonial or something that he sent out in there. It says that he told you the truth that other people didn't tell you. What was that truth that he told you?
oh man, sit on your butt and dial for 8 hours a day. That's the only way you're going to be successful in the business, you know. The other
Yeah,
thing is the sphere of influence, leveraging that a
the
lot.
referrals from that.
Yeah, yeah. But I learned a lot of that from you too. I think that's where I kind of really switched my focus, was when I met with you and sat in for that 3 day shadowing. That was pretty eye opening for me.
Yeah, that was fun when you came and hung out with me for a few days. It was right during, wasn't it like the 29th of December or something? It was kind of in between Christmas and New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, it was the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually when a lot of agents take off, and you came to shadow me and see what I was doing. And did I prospect at all during that time while you were here?
Oh yeah, every day, every day.
That's part of the Fearless Agent movement, is talking with people every single day. Who do you know thinking of buying or selling real estate now or in the near future? Excuse me. So, what were you doing before real estate?
I was the first year when I first met Bob. I was a recruiter for Grand Canyon University for their nursing program and healthcare programs. So I was on the phone calling and trying to get students to meet me at the campus and uh, get them to enroll in school.
Okay,
And
so
then,
you were
then I
doing.
took, yeah, and then after that I kind of took a year off, or 7 months, and went and taught English over in Taiwan and did some traveling, and then had to come back and get serious about stuff. So.
Dude, that sucks, man.
I know, you're telling me, man.
How long were you traveling for?
7 months, 7, 8 months.
7, 8 months. I can't believe you came back. If anyone that's watching this interview has done any independent travel, it is probably the most freeing experience of my entire life. I think that's one thing you and I really have in common, is that we both love to friggin' travel. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
awesome. And I'm not talking like staying at a 5-star hotel. I'm talking like throw a freaking backpack on and one-way ticket it, and we'll see where we go. See
Yeah,
what happens.
that's what we did when we went to Thailand. We just kind of bought a random plane ticket, and then my uncle had moved from Singapore to Thailand, Bangkok, and so he had a condo out there, so he let us stay. It just randomly happened too. It happened
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, it was crazy.
You know what? I your fiance was telling me that you guys had a little bit of a problem there with the lady boys. Is that true?
Yeah, I especially did. I had an addiction.
If you guys that are watching have not been to Thailand, it is the plastic surgery of the world, like Mecca. People go there for plastic surgery, and there's a lot of what they call lady boys there, just everywhere. It's just kind of their part of their population. It's cool to go and experience a different world like that. So, how long have you been just full time gunning it out now and just prospecting and taking listings?
So in 2014, from January to March 1st, I did everything that everybody else said. I kind of, besides you and Bob, I sat open houses. I, had floor time. I did everything else, but besides get on the phone and talk with my sphere of influence and talk to cancels, expireds, for sale by owners. And yeah, I didn't make any money.
Yeah, I think that was me my first year in real estate before I actually went through the Fearless Agent program. Was I sold 2 houses. I think a lot of you guys have heard me tell the story. I sold 2 houses. One was to my sister, and one was a walk-in on floor time in 2006 when it was like you just had to sneeze and you sold houses. I managed to sell 2. That's how sucky I was. So what happened once you joined your first mentor program? I think it was, I don't know if, I think you did the live course, what you started with, right?
Yeah. It was a live course, but I took the live course in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of blew it off, and then Bob came again, and I started taking it more seriously. Started reading the scripts and doing what he was saying, and then, I wanted to see somebody that was my age doing it. I'd always heard about you, so I looked you up on YouTube and really found out like how to do prospecting and how the scripts worked, and just saw somebody else do it that was around my age and being successful. And I think my whole mindset is when you're like abundance, what you had talked about, and just being in that mindset. But when you're around successful people, or you get in that mindset of how other successful people are, that you get into it. So anyways, I watched your videos, and you are always in this certain mindset, so I tried to put myself there as well.
I think that's one of the steps to winning the inner game, is to get into that abundance mindset. I don't know, you just connect to this flow of well-being and just be excited to do what you're doing, and whether it's prospecting or whether it's knocking doors or whatever, you're just excited to be alive and to do it.
Yeah. We do a lot of door knocking too, so
So here's a question I think a lot of people want to know. In your first year in real estate, how many listings, your first full year, how many listings did you take?
Like, I don't know, somewhere between 45 and 50. I just kind of stopped keeping track. But
I was taking so damn many listings, I just stopped keeping track. I couldn't. At one time, I think October, you were like extremely busy. That's when you brought on a partner, right? Was it October?
Yeah. I brought on Kira, which has been huge for me. Just it makes it more fun too.
So what does Kira do? What's her role?
So I do a lot of the prospecting and the kind of the sphere of influence and marketing part of like getting business, and then she'll go through, do like CMAs and go to the listing appointments with me, work with buyers, and we're kind of transitioning and teaching her how to do prospecting and everything. But really, she's like my right-hand man. She does
everything that's not prospecting and presenting and getting listing contracts signed, right?
Yeah, we do some presenting together too, though. So
don't tell Bob that. He'll tell you that's a stupid idea.
Yeah, I know.
I love Bob, man. That guy, I think, has probably kept me in real estate. I wouldn't have survived and made it in real estate if it wasn't for him. I would have been freaking working some dumbass job from my college degree, earning $47,000 a year. That would suck. Like, it just suck. So, anyways, how many? We had a conversation last night. How many listings did you sign this last week?
3, and I'm going on another listing appointment today. So.
And what? Tell us about. You were just telling me about that a little bit ago. What's the price point on this listing you're going to meet with?
It expired at 1.275 million. So, gonna try to get that back in my hands and really get the marketing going and kind of show them how Fearless Agent works and get it out there.
Get it freaking sold. So you signed 3 listing contracts this week.
Yeah.
And you're meeting here, I think, an hour after we're done with this interview or so. You're going to interview and present for a $1.275 million listing.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tell us about the other 3 listings you took this week. Where did they come from, and what's their price point?
So after I left Utah, one of the big things I kind of took away from my experience with you was really leveraging that sphere of influence.
Yeah.
So I've been adding that to my Wise Agent calls and doing that call list through the sphere of influence. I do a lot of posting on Facebook, try to get people excited about real estate. Just like you said in your abundance video, or your I think it was your mindset. I don't know. I've been watching so many of your videos. It's crazy, but you're like, get excited about real estate. Do this, do that. Like, just be upbeat, be a hyper you.
Yeah.
And people get excited about that, and they see that you're excited, and they see your success. So I've been getting a lot of calls from Sphere of Influence. So the first one was Sphere of Influence. The other one was a referral from Sphere of Influence as well, with somebody in the group. The other one was a follow-up with a for sale by owner that I've just been going after for months and months and months and months. And
you're a little bit persistent than I am. If they don't answer 3 times in a row, they don't answer 3 times in a row, I just beep beep.
No, not me, man. I'm going at it. So.
Well, that's what's good, and that's what. Yeah, that video you're talking about, I just posted a few days ago. The power of enthusiasm. When you're excited about what you've got going on in your life and what you're doing, naturally other people feel that excitement. And
Yeah.
I went through, and I realized there's probably about 3 things that really make you stand out. One is obviously your enthusiasm. You got to be very enthusiastic. 2 is, you just have to come across as this guy that knows what he's talking about, this authority that just validates why you're excited. And when you can do that and you can just be pinpoint on, people will just send you business. They'll ask you to list your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So that's one of the things that I know Bob teaches big time in the Fearless Agent movement is how do you take the sphere and turn it into just a referral lead generating machine.
Dude, I've watched a lot of videos on different coaches and different perspectives, and the one thing that I really, really appreciate for Bob is the on-demand coaching. Dude, he answers my phone calls whenever I want, basically. Anything I have a question about a different script I use, or a overcoming objection type thing, I call him right away, and he'll call me back.
Yeah.
And we'll talk 3 or 4 times a day sometimes. He's just really committed to seeing the success of his coaching students.
That, and he is funny as hell. I probably laugh more during the day when I'm on the phone with him than any other time during my day.
Yeah, I agree.
So what is your production goal for 2015 for this year?
40 closed transactions, 10 million in total sales volume.
And that's what, 300,000 or so in commissions? I don't know what I'm guessing. 300 and something thousand.
Yeah, right around there. Just as long as I can help some people buy and sell, and get to where they want to go, I'm fine with that.
So you started January 2014, kind of full time, or was it not even January? What month did you start?
Dude, it was full time. I didn't have a job or anything. I was actually buying and selling cars off Craigslist.
We've all been there, James. We've all been there. So. Between then and now, your goal is multiple 6 figures for 2015. Whether you hit it or not, it is really irrelevant. But the fact that you're thinking in that direction in the 2nd full year in real estate is freaking phenomenal, in my opinion. That's congratulations, man. It took me a lot longer. I closed
$20 million from July to January. So I thought, well, if I get another 7 months, could probably get pretty close to that, and I know more people, and I'm better at what I do now. So
sure,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Pretty attainable.
So what? Here's a question: Who have been some of the biggest mentors and inspirations in your life and your career?
I mean, when it comes to my career, for sure, Bob and yourself have been. Bob really told me just kind of straightforward, like, this is what you need to do to be successful in real estate, and I'll guide you to it. And, everybody always says that. They sell you a product and then they disappear. He didn't do that. He was really, like, persistent and stayed on me. And the other one
Excuse me.
was you for sure, too, with allowing me to go up there and shadow you. And it was definitely worth the money to go do that. It changed my entire outlook, showed me the systems I needed to do, and how to work those systems to your benefit. And other than that, my friends and family, and most importantly, my clients for trusting me to work with them. So, everybody hates for sale by owners, cancels and expireds. It's kind of like being a cop. I think that the people that are phone prospecting are like police officers. They deal with the 10% of the population that other real estate agents don't want to deal with on a daily basis. Yeah. But I made so many friends with my for sale by owners and my clients. It's been crazy.
My gosh, isn't that so true? Like, the people you meet become like friends. You start talking with them and going to dinner with them. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and one of my goals is to not, I don't want to be that person that's dodging through the grocery aisles, So.
Oh shoot, that's John Smith. That transaction sucked. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, dude, I was so surprised when we're moving Tuesday. We just closed on our house about a week or so ago using the Fearless Agent pricing strategy. I had 4 offers on my own house, sold at full price, and the guy that actually bought it, his dad was an agent, so he waived his commission. So,
really?
Yeah, so freaking made me more money than I expected.
So how did that for sale by owner work for you guys?
Yeah, that was awesome. My wife put our house up FSBO. She's a go-getter, man. She wants what she wants sometimes. Yeah. So, anyways, as I'm moving, I've actually had 3 past clients call me and say, hey, do you need any help moving? And so the systems that I've learned from the Fearless Agent movement have just created this raving fan image for my clients, and it sounds like you're starting to experience that as well in just starting your second year.
Yeah, and I read that Raving Fans book. One of the things I really took away from that book as well is they said there was something about like security doors and like how do you get people to stop from stealing, and the big thing was they said we don't implement that stuff in our stores because we want people to feel as comfortable as possible. So I think if you go into the mindset that you're going to kind of get screwed over, somebody's going to treat you bad, then that happens, And so if you go into it just like with the best attitude you can in terms of these guys are going to list with me, it's going to be a great transaction, I'm going to sell the house, and they're not going to, or even on the buying side, they're not going to leave me on the buying side, and you just present that genuineness and that wanting to care and you follow up and whatnot, then you'll get it, and you'll have raving fans throughout your town.
Well, sure, and that's you become what you think about most of the time. Earl Nightingale taught that for 60, 70 years, right? Napoleon Hill's taught that. Marcus Aurelius taught that, and he was BC, right? Jesus Christ himself taught that. So with that being said, as you're thinking about how you want your business to look, you go, and one of the differences you have, I noticed, is you go to work, right? Because you can sit and think about it, and then there's going to work. That's why I think is one of your biggest success tools, to work. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it's a real job for me, and people are trusting me with their biggest investments of their life, so you can't just sit back at the house and watch ESPN First Take, So,
so what time do you get out of bed in the morning?
Oh, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
7 o'clock. So you're actually a late riser then, huh?
Yeah, if you compare me to the likes of like Colton Lindsay and Bob. Yeah.
Yeah, Bob doesn't get up as early as me either. Man, I just think there's something about the morning time to just get up and be alive. So, what does your day look like? What time do you ideally start prospecting?
So I'll start my prospecting around like 8:30 or so, and then go till I feel like I've been pretty sufficient. I always try to hit about 30 contacts or whatnot, or more. I also try to like break it up a little bit and sometimes do some evening calling as well if I didn't get a hold of them in the first part, and do some follow-up. If I think it's a good lead, I'll do that.
How often do you do evening? When you're doing evening calls, it's just follow-ups.
Yeah, just follow up. I mean, I'm so addicted to prospecting. I'll put my headphones in while I'm driving home and prospect in my car.
Who are you calling when you're driving home?
Follow-ups or
Just like FSBO leads, or
yeah. Or like, oh man, I forgot that thing didn't pop up into my Wise agent. I need to call Mary or something. So I'll just dial them real quick, And I love my car. Like that's my Zen place. So I'm still pumped, while I'm in there.
Well, so once again, that's you thinking about what you want most, which is to get it's prospecting. So people want to always focus on the end result. Let's say yours is 40 closed transaction. That's good to be clear on that.
Yeah.
But what you're more focused on is the roots, which is 30 contacts a day, 15 hours a week, whatever that number is. That's what you think about a lot. It sounds like. Is that what I'm hearing?
How? Yeah, I think about the why, but I think about the how am I going to do it?
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I play back. Dude, it was such a big thing for me to go to Utah and see you in your moment. And I think back of how am I going to do that? Well, I need to have my tracking sheet. I need to, I need to get my calling systems down. And dude, I just pulled so much away from that. Like your little thing where you go, I love life. Thanks for asking. Everybody laughs and smiles at that. Like, just get that first impression of everybody. You can hear them smiling on the phone, and there, you got them. If you can make them laugh or smile, you got them. So.
Well, and it's who doesn't love life, right? It's like, what's the alternative? I don't know what the alternative is, but this is pretty damn good, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think that if you ever read the book, I think it's How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. Have you ever read that? So in there, he talks about, and I don't think this is his concept, but he talks about day-type compartments, shutting yesterday off and shutting tomorrow off, and just being like 100% engaged in what you're doing right now. And oftentimes, as a real estate agent, you probably experience this: is you're not experiencing this moment because you're thinking about later versus what's happening. Do you ever experience that?
Yeah, actually, while you were saying that, I got on my phone to check my email. It's a price change because I have an open house, and so I want that to go through.
Yeah, so you want to get the price change before the open house, right? So, with that being said, so do you personally struggle a little bit sometimes with getting the automatic price reduction signed?
Yeah, I think it's I met with a guy named John Taylor. He came and shadowed me yesterday, and he has some Bobisms, I like to call him.
Yeah.
He called an expired one time, and he's like, the agent didn't do this, the agent didn't do that. Well, did you have a good pricing strategy? Well, no, we didn't. He's like, well, let me ask you one question real quick. Your house didn't sell, but if it was for sale for $1, would it have sold? And the guy's like, yeah. He's like, I think we found our problem, So.
Yeah, that's funny. So sometimes, though,
it's hard.
Yeah, well, you've been doing it just over 12 months. I've been doing it for 10 years now, basically. And still sometimes, like, even though I've gone through the program 6 times, I do the Fearless Agent group calls every Wednesday at 11. I do the on-demand coaching with Bob. It's still like you have to continually get better at it always. You're not going to be perfect just because you start. Starting is what you start to cultivate this garden and just get better and better.
Yeah. I think AJ, is it Medea or
AJ Maida?
Maida.
Yeah, North Carolina.
I posted this on Facebook. It was a month ago or something. He said, which, by the way, the Facebook groups have been huge for me too, to get me pumped up and to read on everybody else's success, because I know where I'm going to get to, and I see other people doing it. So, anyways, he put something on there. He said, plant your seeds now so you can harvest them in the fall, so that in the fall you're not begging, So, like, basically saying, like, the work you do right now is going to pay off in the fall and the spring, or in the fall when you can take that time off and whatnot. Just like what you said when we came there to prospect in December, you're like, I said, oh, well, you probably won't be prospecting during that time. And you said, well, yeah, I will. I have big plans for my first quarter. So what I do today will dictate what my first quarter is going to look like.
Yeah.
That was in the beginning of December. You said that.
Yeah. And you know what? I just closed the biggest quarter of my career.
Oh, nice.
111,000 paid in 3 months.
What?
21 closings. I had my biggest month in March of my career, which was $59,234 paid.
What?
And my biggest week was in March, where I was paid $34,150 something dollars. So that's a pretty cool spot to be at. And I see you're just around the corner on those types of quarters and months with how much you're hustling. You're doing awesome.
I'm trying. We've been getting into higher price points, which is nice. And you know what's funny is my broker said you need to get into higher price points. You need to get into higher price points. And so one of my mindsets going into 2015 was to get into higher price points, and that's all I've been thinking about. And since then, I've listed 5 $400,000 homes, one $700,000 home, one $679,000 home. This listing went for the $1.2 million. So
you know what my mindset shifted with is just charge more per deal. So especially on the smaller deals, I know Bob's been teaching me since day one to charge 7%. Sometimes I don't get that, but on the smaller ones, especially 150 or below, when you charge 7%, now you're keeping, $6,000 versus $4,500. That is a 33% increase in your income just by that little change. Yeah,
that's something I'm working on. Really, I'm working on that hard. There's just a lot of lowballers when it comes to commission in terms of in my market. I'm sure you deal with it too.
Yeah, especially in a market like this where the inventory is hot, it's moving quick. You get agents back into the business that are overpricing homes and undercutting their commissions. It becomes a mental battle. Tell us about, have you experienced the mental battle of real estate yet, the inner game aspect?
Oh, dude, absolutely. I think these past couple, the month of March was pretty tough for me. Just in the regard that Kira had taken a week off, which is always hard because we are top producers. I think we're holding like 40 listings right now. So
What? You and Kira have 40 listings right now?
Yeah, dude. I think we have 10 or 11 in escrow. It's crazy.
Holy crap! What is that in pending commissions? That's got to be 50, 60 grand, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I don't count it. I just go with the flow. Once it
nice.
Hits the count, it's there. So.
Congratulations, man. If I had a hand go through the screen, I'd high five for you right now. High five. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, there we go.
So, where do you generate most of your business from? Is it the referrals now, or is it FSBOs, the expireds? A little bit of both, all three?
I would say it's a little bit of everything now because the sphere of influence has been huge for me too. Ever since I left shadowing with you up in Utah, I've really hit that sphere of influence, and I think there's been 4 or 5 deals just this year that have come from sphere of influence, which was which I only had 2 or 3 total for last year. So in the first 3 months, 5 of those have come from sphere of influence or referral. Like we have a Prescott page for our Facebook, and I get referred on that all the time. It's crazy. I love it.
That's freaking cool, man.
That's just fun. But yeah, I've dealt with that a lot. People lying to you. My owners trying to do what are those open-end listings? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I did that once. Because
what's an open-end listing?
They can sell it themselves, or you can sell it. Dumbest thing I ever did. Never do that. And I had a guy call me this week, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I want to list my piece of property with you." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that'll be great. When do you want to start?" He's like, "Oh, well, this date and this date, and I can still put it on Craigslist and sell it myself too." I'm like, "No, I don't do that. I just don't,
That's funny. I'm actually opposite. I don't care if they do that because I've done over 60 FSBOs in the last probably 36 months, probably maybe 24 to 30 months, and only one of them actually sold by themselves to a friend. So, yeah.
So wait, you do an open-end listing then?
Well, it's not an open-end listing. I have an addendum that I drew up that just says you reserve the right to sell the house on your own, at which time you owe, and you'd represent yourself, you owe me and my company no commission. And they get excited to sign that contract pretty quickly. But I don't really chase FSBOs like I used to, though. I built my whole business off of FSBOs. I probably haven't. I've done like 2 this year, I'm guessing.
We'll have to talk about that on.
Yeah, I actually like it. I think in this market it's going to be tougher, though. I haven't done as many in this market, so.
Yeah.
So, what is the next thing you need to get great at in your business?
You know, I think the first thing that kind of popped up is taking more vacation time, because I think you work hard, you play hard, and I took a weekend off this last weekend, and I came back and I got 3 listings signed, and then set a bunch of appointments. Like, you have to recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
Over and over again, and I think that what that'll do for me in the long run is really help me to become more consistent with my prospecting, and that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
More consistent, and learn how to get more of a organization, like be a little bit more, system, like get a better system down.
So here's a guy carrying 40 listings with a goal to hit $300,000 in commissions, and he knows that there's still something he can get better at, which is your systems. That's what Bob teaches in the Fearless Agent Movement. The 3 things is master your skills, master your schedule, and number 3 is master your systems in place. Yeah. And there's always room for improvement. It's just starting and getting going. Excellent. I just want to give a note to you viewers. If you guys are watching, we're going to start the Q&A here in a little bit. There's 2 places that you guys can ask some questions, either on the Fearless Agent page itself, group page, or just below this there should be a Facebook comment. I think one person's commented. I've never really used that, so it may or may not work. But you guys can post your questions there, and then we'll get to those in a little bit. So here's a question I want to ask. I don't think this is brought up enough in these types of interviews. Is do you believe in God or a higher being or a Fugazi, or what's your spiritual belief system?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe in a God. I'm not like religious in terms of like I'm a Christian or I'm a Catholic, just because I don't want to be separated from anybody else. But I do believe in a God, and me and my fiance, before we go to bed, we give thanks. So like I'll say, I'm thankful for being in Fearless Agent. She'll say, I'm thankful for having clean water, and we'll go back and forth. So we're constantly giving thanks and being appreciative of everything that we have in our lives, and trying to pass that on to other people as well. And we pray as well, but it's not to a Christian or a Catholic God or a Mormon God or anything like that. It's just God. So.
I think that was when you came and you guys took me to dinner at that Indian restaurant. I thought you were like joking around with me when you're like, hey, can we give thanks here in the middle of this restaurant? Yeah. But when you actually did that, like that actually just humbled me so much, just so you know, to just get refocused on giving thanks. I'd kind of probably had slowed down a little bit, but that is such an important principle. So you're just always, how much of your day is just focusing on giving thanks for life and what you have?
I mean, really I try to do it all day, every day, because I think the more thankful you are, the more you receive, and the more that you can give to other people, and the more that you can empower people to be thankful, and just kind of make the world a better place, because I'm happier when I give thanks, you know? Mm-hmm. I realize what I have and kind of what other people don't have, and it also helps me to give back more as well. So I try to do it every day, all day, you know? I mean, I'll be driving the car. I'm like, man, I'm really thankful I have this car, and I'm driving safe right now. You know, it might sound stupid, but it works for me. So.
Yeah, no, that is cool. So, what advice would you give to a new agent out there that's just getting started?
So I have a new recruit that I'm getting on right now. She's going to start school here next week. So my first thing is, I said, write a bio, and start getting your names and contacts up for your sphere of influence, because we're going to be on the phone calling and touching base with them. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have them reach out to Bob and yourself, and we're also going to start watching your videos on how to do just listed, just sold contacts as well, and do the sphere of influence calls also. So basically, in a nutshell, I'm going to have them get the bio, the sphere of influence set up, and then we're going to start getting in contact with you and Bob about how we're going to do it and how we're going to get the system down to work with me and Kira in this new agent that we're bringing on.
So you're joining the Fearless Agent movement. You're telling these new people, get joined in the Fearless Agent movement, right? And when this interview's over, below this, I think you guys are watching it on the page I sent to you. There's a button that says click here to learn more about the Fearless Agent movement. I put together a page that just gives some question and answers, a short video, and really what the Fearless Agent movement is and how you can get involved. It's literally changing the lives of hundreds of agents across North America. Did you see in the Facebook group, the Fearless Agent group, there was a guy named, I think his name is Gary in New Jersey, 20 years old, used the Fearless Agent presentation.
Yeah, I saw that.
Got the listing contract signed, followed the pricing strategy, and had an offer in 7 days.
Dude,
20 years old, what?
What about the guy that was like, hadn't made any money in real estate, hadn't really made any money doing his other job, and he had like a meeting with his wife. I forget who it was, but I read it, and he's like, "Babe, we need to buy Bob's package, his
on-demand coaching program."
On-demand coaching, and so we did, and I think the guy's closed like a couple deals now already, and already paid for it in itself, and it's just. It's and I called Bob after I read that, and he didn't answer. He's probably in the bathroom. He's always using the bathroom. But
he's gonna be so mad you said that.
I know, that's so true though. But I called Bob and I just said, man, I'm really thankful for you and like everything that you do for everybody else, because it's really influential in my business, and you're changing lives. You really are. And I told him to go look at the post at that time, and so you guys both do a lot for a lot of people, and you take it seriously, and you're genuine about it. So
one of the things I learned from Bob, and I probably only less than 6 months ago, we were talking about self-help and stuff like that, and Bob's like, I think self-help is so stupid. I'm like, why, Bob? Like, isn't that like what we should be? And he's like, no. He's like, did Jesus ever teach self-help? No, he taught serve other people.
Yeah.
And like, you seriously, that's what it is. Like, as I'm with winningtheinnergame.com and what we're doing with these interviews and the hangouts and the free Tuesday calls, it's about creating value in the lives of other agents. And what I've realized is what I've learned from Bob has just been, priceless in my life. And I've now have an opportunity to share it with other people and help them change from having an opportunity to just be highly successful in something that's such a great movement. So that's cool, man. Yeah. How big is your marketplace?
Like, what do you mean? How big is it?
How many? What's the population? How many agents?
Oh, I think there's like maybe a little over 100,000, but that's with like four towns.
Okay.
The Quad City area, and there's 1,200 agents, about 10 full-time agents.
10 full-time agents. Oh, you freaking comedian, you. Oh,
yeah.
You're so funny. And you're 27. What is a 27-year-old kid that carries 40 listings and shooting for $300,000 in paid revenue? How does he stay mentally tough? What do you do to win the inner game every single day?
Oh, that's a good question. First off, I give thanks for everybody that's in my life and all that I have every day. Secondly, I'm genuine about what I do because I really love what I do, and I treat it as a full-time job. This is my business, so if I want to keep it going and eventually I want to be a referral machine. I just want to take in referrals, and I love prospecting, so I don't think I'll ever give that up. I think I'll always stop my car in front of a for sale by owner and go knock it and say, hey, But Um, giving thanks and just reminding myself every day that I'm dealing with some people's livelihoods, and just reminding myself where I want to be down the line. And one thing that always pops into my head is I got to take that 8-month vacation where I got to go teach English and go to Thailand, Hong Kong, Mexico, work on a farm in Montana, and that was because of hard work. And because I worked hard for a couple of years going to college and full time, that allowed me to do that. So if I can put that hard work into my life for a couple, 10, 15, 20 years or so, then maybe I can reap those same rewards of being able to go travel for the rest of my life and do that. So that's always my end goal. Is I have some bigger goals of wanting to kind of be in control of my life.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is you'll get 20, 30 years down the road, and you'll realize it wasn't the traveling that was awesome that you're going to go experience, but it was who you became along that journey. That's what I'm realizing now, 10 years into this, is the real cool part is who I am now, what I've developed in my life. So that's super cool, man. Let's open it up to questions right now. If you guys aren't on the Fearless Agent Group page in Facebook, go to that now. I've put a post on there where you guys can ask a question, or if you are watching on my page here, the Winning Series interview page, you guys can ask some questions right below there.
Somebody asked what hair product I use before I go to listing appointments.
No, someone did not ask that.
Oh.
I hope that they're still being able to see the interview. So someone asked me a question. What about you, Colton? Religious beliefs, LDS, Casey Matson. You know what? I did serve an LDS mission when I was 19 to 21, greatest 2 years of my life. At this point in my life, I don't really have necessarily a religious affiliation, but I do extremely have a close relationship with God and the flow of well-being and that source energy and giving thanks every single day. I think that's probably doesn't matter what religion you are. If you can understand there is a higher power and higher being, God, you can take what He has taught and provided and just create the world, a whole world of opportunities. So hopefully that answers that question for someone. I'm hoping they can still see. I hope that. Oh yeah, it's still showing live. 41 minutes into this. I was just looking on the other page. Okay, guys, let's see what other questions we can come up with. Is it working for questions, by the way? Usually I've got like a dozen questions. No one wants to ask you a question, James. What the age?
I'm a loser, bro.
Let's see here. No, bro, you're a wiener. You are a wiener. Oh, here, I just did it. Mike Kakovowski. I'm sorry, Mike, if I totally just slaughtered your name. Kakovowski. Do you see, James, this is for you, do you see more people buy into the pricing strategy idea or a normal feel-for agent way of doing business, doing things? I'm not sure I understand that question, but
yeah, me either.
Do you see more people buy into the pricing strategy idea or a normal fearful agent way of doing things? I don't understand that.
I think I understand what he's saying. I think if you present the pricing strategy the right way and you convey that this is how they're going to get the most money. Also, what I like to use is when we do that price reduction, like it throws them into the MLS at the top of the list again, and it says price reduction here. And we always send out like a mass email flyer saying price reduction or something on our Facebook page or something. So it really helps them with the marketing as well, and it brings it to a level where the house is going to sell. If it would, would your house sell for $1? Yes. Well, then we need to get it to a price where we're going to get those multiple offers and help bid those up. And I've done that a couple times this past month. So
yeah.
In one instance, my seller just wanted to take one of the offers, so not go multiple counteroffer, highest and best. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's some of that people. Don't be afraid to ask. Are you ready to accept this offer? That is like the most unused question I've seen in real estate agents is, are you ready to accept this offer? Okay, great. Let's just go ahead and accept it right here.
Yep.
Here is a question from Mark Tracy. James, if you door knock and no one answers, do you leave anything at the door? If so, can you give us an idea on what that is?
Sometimes I do. If I've been following up with them for a while, it's a for sale by owner that I've been calling, and I go to knock the door. And I just did this last week, actually. I couldn't get a hold of him on the phone a couple times, so I went and knocked his door because I was in the area. And I did leave my card, and just a card. Just leave a card. And
So just leave a card. So yesterday in our mastermind with Brian Casella, who knocks on average 500 plus doors a week, he gave the same exact answer. So by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, will that word be established, my friends?
Yeah.
Mike.
Go
ahead.
I want to touch on is Brian has some videos on door knocking, and one big thing that he touches on is your stance. Whether you're initiating, you knock on the door and a male or a female answers the door, and man, it was almost innate for me to do what he was saying. But if you're not doing the type of like stance or exact feedback from the door that Brian's saying, you need to do that because people tend to be a little off. They're totally off guard when you knock on their door. So giving them a few feedback and like angling your body or something to not show that it just makes them a little bit more comfortable. So there's a lot that goes into door knocking.
Yeah, so I mean, we have, let's say if you have 100% of communication, 7% of your communication is words, 33 or something percent is tonality, and 60% is your body language. And that's what's cool about learning the Fearless Agent dialogue with the Fearless Agent movement is you also getting that body language and that tonality. I love Bob's tonality. It just speaks so loudly, oftentimes more than the words. So next question, Mike Birch. I hope I say this right, Mike. I freaking love you, and I've known you a long time, but I still mess up your last name. Mike Burchett in Tennessee. Good stuff so far, guys. For James, what was your schedule like back in January 2014, and how has it changed?
Oh, man. In 2014, I didn't know what I was doing. I would go to do some open houses and just kind of sit around the office and do some, like, mentoring programs that we had about, like, how to build your biography and stuff. And something that should have taken, like, 2 or 3 days, they had a class that took a week on how to build your biography. Like, that, for me, just wasn't fast enough results. And I didn't have enough control, so it was more of like taking more classes on how to build your business, but I wasn't seeing any results after 2 months. So after that, I was in the office constantly, and I built my business off of for sale by owners as well. So I would just prospect as much as I could until I got that listing appointment. Now it's more structured in terms of about from 8:30 to usually I stop around 11:45 or 12 and eat lunch, take a little bit of a break, and if I don't have an appointment, I go back and I hit my hots or my warms until I can get an appointment. So,
what system are you using? Are you using Mojo Sales?
No, man, I'm not using any of those. I actually just signed up for Vulcan 7 though. I was using Land Voice for a while. And,
nice.
I didn't like the I did like Land Voice because it was the first system that I had, but it kept me a little more organized. But I use like Wise Agent and Vulcan 7. I just watched the orientation for that today.
So Vulcan 7 is like the elementary level of dialers, and Mojo, in my opinion, is like the PhD. And you can take Vulcan 7 leads and upload it into Mojo, which is what I do. It's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge for me because when I was when John was shadowing me yesterday, he's like, "How many calls did you get through?" I was like, "Oh, about 20 or 25," and it had been like 3 hours. And he's like, "Oh, that's not that many," but I was like conferencing him in and whatnot, so it wasn't as fast. But when I did the shadowing with you, I think you hit like 450 people or something.
Phone calls, yeah, dials. I did.
Yeah.
That was when I was dialing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a question real quick from Brian Kurtz. Colton, what was that agreement that you said you signed with FSBOs that got them excited to get working with you? So it was, I would do the for sale by owner presentation, and even if because it's a skill to learn that presentation. So I wasn't that great at it at first, but what I would do is have them sign an addendum and you'll need to talk to your broker, by the way. I'm not giving any broker advice out right now, but this is what I did in my state with my broker. The seller reserves the right to sell the house on their own, at which time they owe Discover Realty or me and my company, Discover Realty, no commissions. And also it says in there they understand they represent themselves in that scenario. So out of 60 FSBOs that I think I've done that with, one of them actually did sell it on their own to their friends, which, you know what I mean, you're going to lose out sometimes. So hopefully that helps. Thanks for the question, Brian. Charlie Santos, what % of your business is expireds, FSBOs, and SOI? Is there anything else you do to generate leads?
That's for me or you?
That's for you. These are all for you, man. This is about you today, James.
No, thanks. I would say about right now it's pretty even for the most part. I've been last year is about 80% for sale by owners. I mean, probably 90% for sale by owners. This year it's been about 25% expireds, 30% sphere of influence, and then the rest would be door knocking and for sale by owners. So.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Casey Matson asked, how long will you wait before you have the conversation about price reduction?
Oh, man, I try to go into that after 21 days or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Anywhere between 14 and 21 days.
Yeah. So realistically, with the pricing presentation and the pricing strategy, which I know coming from experienced guys, going to try and do that, sometimes it is difficult to actually do that. But I can tell you, when you just grow a set and just do it, you can get them to sign an automatic price reduction of every 2 weeks, which is phenomenal, because it's not about getting the asking price. It's about pricing it in such a way that you get people in the door to write offers and generate demand. And probably half of my 25, 26 under contracts and solds this year, half of them have been multiple offers and or over asking price. So
yeah, that's always fun, and you get more that way too.
So Charlie Santos asked, you mentioned Wise Agent several times. How do you leverage that, using that?
I use it as my it's my customer relationship management system. So it helps me stay on track of my dials, my notes that I've taken, and really kind of leverage my sphere of influence, as well as it helps it. I can input other agents' information so that when I do get a new listing, Kira will send out a flyer to every agent out there, and we just put that in our listing presentation as well. It's easy.
So you go knock the door, is what you're saying?
What's that?
You go knock the door with a flyer, or this is a flyer in your presentation?
No. The Wise Agent uploads it into the email. Dude, we've sold like 2 properties off that too.
So you send an email flyer out, is what you're saying?
Yeah, an email flyer out. Yeah.
How often are you doing that, sending that email flyer?
Whenever we have a price reduction or a new listing, generally.
So one of the things that I've really mastered this last year with Fearless Agent Movement is my people farm and creating that farm. Also, one of those things that should be injected into that is an email farm, where just anyone and everyone gets an email where you send them something real estate related, like you sent them those houses, right? What we'll send them is a list of all of our active inventory, and we'll also send them a quarterly market update with a video from me and a list of all of our solds, and it looks just super awesome to do that. So really leverage that if you're not guys. I use MailChimp, and you use Wise Agent, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, but I think Wise Agent has like a MailChimp built into it. So
Oh, so you can just sync it up somehow.
yeah.
Nice. Cool. Well, we've got a few more minutes. Let me see if we have one request. I don't know if we have any other questions. Let me see. Oh, Stacy Mooch asked, I hope I said that right, Stacy. With the market the way it is now, do you think it's possible still to build your business on FSBO, or what would you recommend?
I guess my question to that is, what's wrong with the market right now? Because I think there's always opportunity there for the for sale by owners. Colton said something one time to me. He said, and excuse me if I get the words wrong, but he said for sale by owners are like unripened avocados. You know, you gotta touch them every once in a while to feel if they're not as firm, and eventually they'll be ripe enough to where they want to list with you. My big thing with for sale by owners is just go meet them. You know, go say hi, be genuine, don't be super salesy. I know there's a couple agents in our market that'll be like, oh, well, the reason your house didn't sell on like expireds is because you didn't hire me or something like that. Just something stupid that you don't want to be pushed up against, you know.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard pressure. It's really high pressure. I think, too, to answer that question with Stacy, because she's actually in my marketplace, is what we're seeing is, and I'm experiencing it myself, where I'll set a for sale by owner appointment and the damn thing will sell before I even get to actually meet with these people, and it kind of sucks. But it is what it is. That means you just have to be into more contacts. I think that this market, the best way to build your business is obviously your referrals, your people farm, and cold calls. I think that, you know, my number of contacts per day has gone up because I'm having to talk to a lot more colder leads versus for sale by owners because they are selling so quickly. Yeah. But I know Adam Bailey in Kansas, I believe, with the Just Do It movement and what they're doing, he says he's crushing it right now with FSBOs there. So it depends on your marketplace. So Stacy, I think call FSBOs, yes, absolutely. Get in front of them. Go, and probably even more so, go knock their doors. Your best bet right now with for sale by owners. Go knock the door. Use the Fearless Agent script at the door to set an appointment. Do the for sale by owner presentation. Do your listing presentation. Get a freaking contract signed. Also, just be doing a lot of cold calls and cold doors right now as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's any more questions. I don't see any over here. Whoops, hold on. Let's go back to this page. I should just field questions in one page, but I'm new at this, so. I think that's about it at questions, but we do have one request, James, and let's see if you're open to it because you're going to be on stage. They would like to hear a for sale by owner role play call with you being the agent on live hangout.
Oh, that's a good one.
You up to it?
Sure, we could do that. Yeah.
Do you have your script in front of you or no?
No, I don't. It's all packed away, so we'll have to see.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Colton at 1425 Goldenrod?
Yeah.
Hey, Colton, this is James Mitchner with Bloom Tree Realty. How are you?
Hey, I love life. Thanks for asking.
Hey, absolutely, so do I. That's a good thing to love life. Hey, I was just wondering, is that home still for sale that you got?
Yeah, it is.
Perfect, perfect. How's your marketing going for you with that? You got any offers yet?
Hey, yeah, it's going well. How could I help you? Do you have a buyer?
Oh, yeah, we definitely have a lot of buyers. One of the things that I like to do is keep track of anything that's not on the MLS. That way I can get that out to my buyers. How are you getting your house out to the buyers these days?
We're just putting it on Zillow and Craigslist. But hey, I gotta run. If you have a buyer, definitely we'll pay a 3% commission.
Oh, so you're willing to pay the 3% commission, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. So have you sold quite a few properties by yourself?
Yeah, we sold a few, but hey, listen, do you have a buyer? If not, I gotta really go, James.
Yeah, absolutely. We could. One thing I need to do though is to ensure we are able to sell the property for you to one of our potential buyers, because I don't want to look like an idiot and tell my buyer that I got a property that's not on the MLS that might fit their needs without being able to preview it first. I was just wondering, when's a good time for me to come over and meet you and see the house for myself?
Well, like I said, are you just going to come look at the house?
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to come over, take a look at the house, take some notes so that if it doesn't work out with you and I meeting, that I'll be able to really tell them the details of the house itself. But I do come over with a plan to kind of show you how we do our marketing, the different comps in the area, and then what we can do for you.
Yeah, we're not really looking to see what an agent can do for us right now.
You're not? No? Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's just let's set the appointment just so I can preview the house, and I'll definitely keep that in mind, because what I do is I follow up with for sale by owners once a week to make sure that they're still available for sale, just in case I do have the buyers that are looking for a property just like yours. Would that work? Maybe sometime Thursday or so, between 2 and 5 p.m.?
Yeah, you could come by and preview it on Tuesday.
Okay, 2 to 5 p.m.?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, perfect. Hey, I got a quick question for you. So I'm going to bring just some information about myself and whatnot. Hey, if after previewing the property, if I showed you some stuff on how we do business differently than everybody else, and you felt comfortable with our pricing and whatnot, would you be willing to do business with me that day?
Yeah, maybe,
no
but
pressure.
we're not.
The worst thing that'll happen is you say no and I leave your house. The best thing is we end up signing a contract right there and then get you a closed escrow, the check that you want. So, but again, the worst thing is it's a no, and the best thing is that we're able to work together. But either way, it's no hard feelings. So.
I mean, come over and take a look at the house. You can leave some stuff, but like I said, we're not really looking to list the house with anyone.
Absolutely, and I completely understand. So I'll see you there at 3:30 p.m. on Thursday. Does that work for you, Colton?
Yeah, that works.
All right. Hey, I'll call you about a day before just to confirm that appointment. If anything comes up, let me know, okay?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey, you have a great day. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks. Dude, so Bob would be so upset with you right now with that roleplay, man. He'd be like, dude, James.
I know. I don't have my script in front of me right now.
I love it. Every time I roleplay, I have to have my script, or I just get like so like stupid with
Dude,
it.
I started
just say
putting my
things.
scripts all over my desk like you did, and people were coming into my freaking office and stuff.
They were writing them down. They're like, "What's James saying?"
And I'm like, I paid for all that stuff, man. If you want that, you need to contact Colton and Bob. So.
Yeah. Hey, so do the roleplay with me. I want to do it the right way with the Fearless Agent movement.
All right, let's do it.
Ring, ring.
Hi.
Hi, is James there?
Yeah, this is him.
James, hi, Colton Lindsay, Discover Real Estate. Hey, listen, my records show your house is for sale by owner. Is that true?
Yep.
Oh, great. How much are you asking for it, by the way?
$225.
$225. Hey, great price point. So, can I ask, when you sell your house, where you're moving to next?
Layton, Utah.
Oh, Layton, great area. What takes you there, James?
The mountains.
Okay, so you want to go to Layton and get closer to the mountains. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you something, James. You brought it up. So you're trying to sell your house, yourself, without having it on the market with a real estate person, right? Is that because you hate realtors, or what is it?
No. I'm still offering that 3% commission to any realtors. I just need to sell it myself so I can get up to Layton.
Ah, okay. So it's about the money.
Yeah. Yep.
Really? Is that the only thing? Is the money?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much. And with all the new Zillow and Craigslist, I really don't think, I need to have it just listed. So.
Sure. So the main thing is the money that you keep when you sell your house. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
with the internet marketing, I can really do it myself now. So
Absolutely. So it sounds like it's about the money. So, well, hey, I got to go to another call, James, but real quick, really because I do business completely differently than all other agents, it virtually guarantees you of two things. One is that, yes, you sell your house, James. The other is you will end up with significantly more money in your pocket, bottom line, than you could get any other way. That's with or without an agent. And, James, I know that sounds like a big promise, but if you knew it were true, do you even want to hear more about it? And be honest with me.
I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting to hear about how I could get more money out of pocket than what I could do by myself, I guess.
Yeah. So is that a yes? You would want to hear about it?
Yeah, I mean that'd
Okay.
be neat. Yeah.
Great. Why don't I do this? I don't mind. Here's what I'm proposing. Why don't I go ahead and swing over, take a look at your house. While I'm there, James, I'll show you how I do business, which again is completely differently than anything you've ever heard. Worst case scenario, kick me out after 20 minutes or so, and what do you say? You willing to risk kicking me out of your house, James?
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
great. So I usually like to meet either in the afternoons. Do usually early afternoons work for you, or later afternoons better?
I'm about a 9 to 5 guy, so let's do late afternoons.
9 to 5. So I could come by today around 5:30, or would tomorrow be a little bit better for you at 5:30?
Let's do 5:30.
5:30. All right, sounds good. We'll do 5:30 today. The address I have is 123. List your house with me. Is that correct?
Oh, you threw in the list your house with me. I think it's
Okay, guys, let's wrap up this interview. This was James Michener from Prescott, Arizona. James, leave your name, email, and phone number so people can send you referrals or how to get a hold of you.
all right. James Mitchner, phone number 928-308-4700. Email address is michener03@gmail.com. So
Awesome. And everyone else, I want to say thank you for watching the Winning Series interview with James. I plan on doing one of these probably once or twice a month, just to see what other agents across the country are doing to have a lot of success. And for you guys that are watching that have not already joined the Fearless Agent movement, James, what would you say to those people?
there's no other movement that if you're going to join a movement that's going to be beneficial to your health of your mind, your body, and your bank account.
Your bank account.
If you want your bank account to look like a phone number, join Fearless Agent.
Well played as I snort. Hey, so if you guys aren't as familiar with that, click the button below that says learn more about the Fearless Agent movement. I've put together a page where you can watch a short video, me explaining what it is, also all of the questions that you might have about joining. I mean, for literally less than $3.25 a day, you can join the Fearless Agent movement immediately. So go ahead, click that link, join me, follow my YouTube. You can subscribe on my YouTube channel, Colton Lindsay, Winning the Inner Game. Visit my website at winningtheinnergame.com and make sure to get in the Winner Circle email list where I'll send out more invites for interviews like this in my mastermind with the young hustlers, AJ and Brian. See you Tuesday.
Real quick, Colton, I just wanted to point on something. Whatever you purchase with Fearless Agent can be contributed as, I think, continuing education and real estate resources. So it's all tax deductible too, I think. So because it's going towards your business. So, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, so it definitely is going to be tax deductible. And the first thing I say invest in your education. Join the Fearless Agent movement for less than $3.25 a day. Subscribe to my Winner Circle email at winningtheinnergame.com, and I'll send you all the updates and cool things that we're doing. All right, James, I appreciate you. Good luck on your $1.25 million listing presentation in the next hour.
All right, thanks, man.
See ya. Bye.
See ya.